All right, so I had an idea because I was just kind of taking a break, honestly, during the middle of the day. And I realized, this is something that I didn't think about when I started trading, and I kind of do it instinctually now just because I don't want to screw things up. So I thought I would explain my logic around this, and I thought it could be helpful for people who are trying to learn. So, right now it's the middle of the day. It's like 11 a.m. Eastern time on the 21st of March. We've had a pretty decent gap up here in the market. We closed at around exactly at 520.42 and we opened at 523.26. So that's pretty decent gap up. Um, I had some positions. I closed two of them. I'm still in one of them. I took another one today. And, I was thinking about something. Well, actually, I was taking a break. And then I was thinking, you know, it's really good to give this lesson that sometimes when you're trading, your brain wants to do something. Your brain wants to take a trade. It wants to get out of a trade. I'll give you an example. So I'm in Meta. This is I mentioned I was in Meta in my last video, I think. I got out of it from then, and I'm in it again. Um, so I was looking at the chart here. And I was getting frustrated because my target was 514. I have options. Otherwise, the high here is 515. So I would have been out if I had shares. But I have options. So as soon as the market opened, I have my order in exactly where it should have been. It dropped. It never filled, unfortunately, or else I wouldn't even be thinking about this. But I was looking at Meta and I was getting frustrated because I want my 514. I want my profit. I want to be able to look at the profit that I think I'm supposed to have today, and I want to say, wow, I did a great job. I got the profit that I thought I would get today. That's fantastic. And that's not happening right now. And when I'm thinking about this, a lot of things come into my head. There's things like, well, what if it's not actually as strong? And clearly it's not. Meta only had a slight gap up versus SPY and Nasdaq both had a significant gap up, and this pretty much filled the gap versus SPY and QQQ have not filled the gap at all. So you could look at this and say, yeah, sure, there is a bit of weakness here compared to maybe a stock like a net, which I also had and sold, which did fill the gap, but then immediately took off. So obviously, this is a much stronger stock than Meta right now. If you're in this stock, good job, you made a good analysis. So I was looking at Meta and I was getting frustrated. If this happens to you, where you're sitting here and you go, and your brain's telling you, oh, maybe I should get out, maybe I should do this. Well, first of all, you want to go off of um, proper analysis, right? So if we look at the daily chart here, we can see that we had a gap up after earnings, consolidation, building off from that gap, never really tested the gap at all. So you can see it kind of is putting in support by just compressing here. So it eventually went up, set an all-time high, pulled back to the AVWAP, bounced off that pretty significantly, consolidation, 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 bounced off from it a couple more times, and then it's starting to build off from it again. So, we can look at that and say, hey, this is clearly strong. This is in an uptrend. The trend is up. So that's the analysis on that stock. Now, with that analysis, I know that it is more likely to continue up. I know that I believe the market will continue higher here. So, what is the correct logical analysis? The logical analysis is take it to your target, don't sell it, it'll be fine. The emotions that come into play are saying things like, oh, it's kind of showing a little bit of weakness, maybe take it off the table, take the profits while you got them, get out of it. And when I started feeling that like that, I just kind of stepped away from my computer and I just said, um, I'm just gonna take a walk. I'm just gonna take a break for a second here. I'm gonna scroll on my phone for a little bit. I know that I know what I'm looking for in the market, so I'm going to check on it on my phone periodically. And I don't really need to babysit these positions. And my point in saying all this is if you find yourself in having a confliction in your mind of what your like feelings are telling you what to do and what you logically know should be correct, maybe take a step back. You know, there's times where, you know, your emotions will influence you in order to make a decision that the anxious brain thinks is the right decision. But in reality, you know, you got to use your brain. You have to logically know that that's not the right decision. So, with that being said, I hope that kind of gives some guidance on, you know, the mental aspect of trading because, you know, trading is difficult in many ways, but one of the hardest parts is being able to master some of these things. And, you know, even though I do this for a living now, I'm definitely not perfect. You know, there's times where, you know, I just took a loss yesterday, in fact, that I had a profit in the day previously at my price target, my technical target, and I did not take it. Why didn't I take it? I was overcome with greed. I wanted a few more cents out of my contracts. And then I took a loss 4 times the size of the gain I had the day previous. That is a mistake I haven't made in a while. But it just shows that, you know, you're not a robot. When people say you have to master your emotions, you know, you can't just dissociate and turn them all off. You're going to feel them. That's going to happen. And when that does happen, you have to recognize that and say, oh, you know, I'm feeling kind of anxious right now. Let me take a step away. Because that's fine. You know, uh, this system that I trade, the system that, you know, um, like the wiki is about, and like I've referenced in previous videos, I've linked, you know, the Reddit that I've learned some stuff from, and I've linked Pete's site One Option, which I've learned everything from, and um, that's you don't need to trade in such a way that you need to be hovering over your computer at all times. At least I will say day trading it definitely requires more concentration. But even then, like let's say I'll pull something up. Like let's say you're in you were looking at Home Depot and you saw this pullback to VWAP and then you said, okay, this is a nice candle off VWAP. I'm going to buy here. And then this breakout happened. You sold into strength. You know, let's see how much of a gain would that be. The high is 392.71. Well, let's use this. And that's 395.44. I mean, that's not even the high of that candle. So that's a massive gain, you know. And if you get that in 3 candles or 2 candles, even, geez, you know, you'd take that, sell the position, you're done. I mean, um, and you could have just said like, oh well, you know, if this closes a couple candles below VWAP, I'll just close it for a loss. You know, it's not that difficult to have that analysis. What's difficult is actually putting it into practice, and that's where a lot of people um, struggle because it takes years to be able to have the presence of mind to go, you know what? I think I'm just not thinking straight today. I should sit back and watch. And you know, when you're starting, I know how it feels. I get it. Me telling you sit back and watch makes you feel like you're missing out, like you are going to miss something significant. Let me tell you something. You're not going to miss fucking anything. Because if you're starting, you're with low size, correct? You should be. If you're not, you should be. You don't know much, okay? And you're just trying to get a grasp at your analysis, the market, just trying to be right about your analysis as much as possible. If you think, okay, you know, SPY is going to find support here, it's going to bounce off here, and it's going to go to this price. If that's your analysis, let's see if it happens, right? So that's what you're trying to do. So trust me when I say taking a step back, you're not going to miss anything. Like the market's not going to leave you behind. If you sit out of the market for like 6 months, okay, sure, we're getting left behind a bit there. But if you just take 10 minutes to take a step back, cool off, and come back, or even a day, take a step away for a day and say, you know what, I got all this going on in my personal life, I can't think straight. That's okay. Take a step back, no worries. The market will be here the next day. And maybe the next day won't be a great day. So what? So what? You know how many good days there are on the market? Let me tell you. I about 70% of my profits this month have come from 2 days. Two. 2 days. Now, does that mean I didn't make money any other day? No, I made money. But like there was 2 days this month where I had massive gains. Why? Because I know what I'm doing and I saw opportunity. I saw all the stars align. I went in heavy. I took multiple positions, full size. They came to fruition. I made a lot of money and it all worked out. That's when you're a professional trader, that's what's going to come up. That's how you're going to trade. So when you're learning, you're not going to miss anything. Like, oh my god, I didn't make my 20 fucking dollars today. I didn't reach my daily goal of $20, which daily goals are stupid by the way. If you have a daily goal, don't have a fucking daily goal. It's like if you are from, the real day trading community or you're from the one option community, you'll know Harry. Harry said to me, and he said to the whole room, in fact, not just to me, he said to the whole room, chat room. This was around, I don't know exactly when he made the Reddit. I think it was August of 21, but I don't know if he said it before or after, whatever. It doesn't matter. Sometime in 2021, he said to the one option chat room, he said, why are you going to stop trading if you meet your daily goal? If you have a standard business, like let's say you have a candy shop, and let's say your goal in a candy shop is to pull in, I'm just going to make up a number. I don't know anything about candy shops. So if someone knows something about candy shops, don't fucking come at me. Let's say your goal is to make $10,000 that day. Or in revenue, let's say. Not gross profit, but revenue. So, or net profit, but let's say revenue. So let's say busy day, um, conventions in town or some kind of town fair, whatever. You meet your $10,000 revenue goal by 12 noon and you typically close at 5 o'clock. Okay. Are you closing the doors at 12 noon? Does any business do that? Does any business do that? No. There isn't a business that does that. So why would you as a trader do that? Stay open the whole day. You might sit there from 9:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. and not see one setup you like. But you see a setup you like at 3:30. You take that setup you like, you buy it. 9:30 a.m. the next day, the stock gaps up $10. Boom. You just made one of your biggest gains of the month. That happens. That kind of stuff happens. So don't be afraid to take a step away. Don't be afraid to sit and do nothing. Be comfortable being uncomfortable. Allow yourself to sit there and just take in the market, not make any decisions. You don't need to. It's okay. Market's going to be here whether you're here or not. So take as much time you need to get your mind in the right frame and then come back another day or another time when you can look at the market and, be ready. So trade well. Good luck.